Saudi Arabia will punish online satire with up to 5 years in prison and is seeking the death penalty for a prominent cleric. The kingdom's public prosecutor said today satire that disrupts public order would be punished as the country cracks down on dissent. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the kingdom's powerful ruler, has drawn harsh criticism from rights groups over the targeting of human rights activists and political dissidents across the spectrum since his appointment in June 2017. Dozens of Saudi citizens have been convicted on charges linked to dissent under a previous sweeping law, particularly linked to posts on Twitter. In September 2017, authorities issued a public call for citizens to report on the social media activities of their fellow citizens under a broad definition of terrorist crimes. Saudi Arabia's public prosecutor today also announced it was seeking the death penalty in the case against Sheikh Salman al-Auda, a prominent Islamist cleric arrested last year along with 20 others. The preacher was arrested on terrorism-related charges, activists and his family said. The kingdom's legislation on cybercrime has sparked concern among international rights groups in the past. The public prosecution tweeted late last night, producing and distributing content that ridicules, mocks, provokes and disrupts public order, religious values and public morals through social media will be considered a cybercrime punishable by a maximum of 5 years in prison and a fine of 3 million riyals, $800,000. Share this article. Share the 37 charges against the 61-year-old cleric in a specialized criminal court include spreading discord and incitement against the ruler, according to London-based Saudi rights group ALQST and other activists. Auda's son, Abdullah, confirmed the court proceedings and said the accusations against his father included critical tweets and establishing an organization in Kuwait for defending the Prophet Muhammad. Amnesty International's Saudi Arabia campaigner Dana Ahmed called the reports a disturbing trend in the kingdom that sends a horrifying message that peaceful dissent and expression may be met with the death penalty. A government communications office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Saudi Arabia, an absolute monarchy where public protests and political parties are banned, has seen a crackdown on dissent, with dozens of clerics, intellectuals and activists arrested in the past year, even as the authorities enacted some high-profile social and economic reforms. A roundup of senior royals, ministers and businessmen last November on charges of corruption sent shockwaves through the kingdom, stunning allies and foreign investors. Most of those detainees were released after reaching undisclosed financial settlements with the government. Auda, whom UN experts have described as a reformist and an influential religious figure who has urged greater respect for human rights within Sharia, was arrested in September 2017. He had previously criticized the government, but more recently kept silent or failed to publicly back Saudi policies, including a rift with Qatar over supporting the Muslim Brotherhood. Auda is the Assistant Secretary General of the International Union of Muslim Scholars, listed in Saudi Arabia as a terrorist organization. The organization is based in Doha and is also listed as a terrorist entity in Egypt, the UAE and Bahrain, which together with Saudi Arabia have imposed a blockade on Qatar since June 2017, accusing it of supporting terrorism. Qatar denies the allegations and says the Saudi-led bloc is attacking its sovereignty over its independent foreign policy.